Welcome back, Classic Car Revivals. Bet you're wondering what's going on in the garage tonight. Just leaning against cars, keeping them from rolling away. Actually, it's Edmund headers. Proud to say, made in the USA. So, I'm going to get some headers on this car. But I'm going to do it the hard way. I'm going to pull the engine out. And I got some ice in there. They've been sitting outside. These are headers for a big block. Don't want to trip on ice. So, the other night, my wife was on Facebook. She says, "What do you think of this 454? I was like, I looked at it and I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'd do with it. So I messaged the guy and said, I'll take it. I'll be there tomorrow. Because the price was right. It came out of a 74 pickup. He said it's been in his shipping container for the last 20 years. Turns over. I haven't tried to start it. I'm going to do the start when it goes in this car. But yeah, 454 in the 64. So I'm excited. I did stick this engine in maybe last winter. It's just maybe a mild cam 350. It's got real low oil pressure. Pretty sure it was 20 when it was cold, so it'll virtually have no oil pressure when it's warmed up. So out with the old, and
in with the older?
In with the older. Well, they're both about the same year engine. But the biggest problem I got is the transmission is leaking fluid everywhere when it sits. So I think what I'm going to do is pull the engine and then pull the transmission. And I don't think I'm going to seal it back up. I think I'm just going to put that built power glide I got in here. Because it's already got a power glide in it. So might as well have a little more torque. Transmission that shifts real good. And it's got the trans brake. So, you know, if I'm bored sitting at a stoplight, I hit the trans brake and do a quarter-mile long one-wheel peel in this old pig. So, but yeah, this is the car I bought from my buddy's wife after he passed away. So look at that. He's a rocker. No, I'm excited. When I first got this car, I started looking for a 409. You can't touch one of them for less than like $12,000, and I found that 454 for $400. So that's what I'm gonna run. See what happens. So yeah, just gotta find my drain pan, start getting the coolant out of this thing, and start disassembly. Shouldn't be too hard because yeah, I had it out. I drove it in and out of the garage a couple times, so all the bolts should come right out. So yeah, let's get started. Drain pan. Might take me a minute to find that. Yeah, it definitely makes it a lot easier when when I become the camera lady and she becomes the revivalist. You're doing a good job, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm pulling a carburetor.
What kind of carburetor is it?
Not a clue.
What does it say on the front?
Holly Performance.
Oh, so it's probably like might be a 600. I actually don't know what size it is. I'd have to check the numbers. Oh, it is a Holly Performance.
I can read.
It's probably way too big for this 350. It'd be way too small for that 454. You want the impact for that?
Nah, I got it.
Oh. Did I tell you you're doing a good job?
Yeah, you do.
Too bad you're short and you can't reach.
I know, it is a problem.
What are you standing on?
Nothing.
Oh yeah? Wow, you're tall.
Did not roll away. I'm still on it.
The wheel? Yeah. I had to
I had to reach it.
I took it off the store dollies.
It works though.
It does.
And then I can wheel myself around the car.
I'd like to see that one.
I might. Because I gotta go to the other side.
Yeah. Do I usually work this slow?
Yep.
Oh. I guess after you're done with that, you can unhook all the spark plug wires.
I'm not feeling.
Okay, Marty McFly.
Oh, there's another one over here.
Yeah, you had one on that side.
Oh, can you hand me that ratchet?
What flavor of ratchet is it? What drive?
It's a 1/4-inch drive.
No, it's not. It's the next size up from
A
that.
1/2-inch drive.
Smaller than that.
3/8 inch
It's
drive.
the 3/8 ratchet. She's a math teacher, by the way.
Well, I did know how to put them in order, so...
Yeah? But you went 1/4, 1/2, 3/8.
That's true.
Yeah, I do got new quarters for this car. Still waiting for my little brother to come help me. I'm not a big body man. This is the troubled side. I actually quit pulling the paint off it when I was sanding it because get some of that crap out of the way. I don't know if you can really see that, but when it got smashed at some point, they just took the new quarter panel and overlapped it over the old, what was left of the, after they cut it out, and it's riveted, and there's like 1/2 inch of Bondo here, and I wasn't about to deal with any of that stuff, so I just went on the computer and hit send me a new one. So I got each side, and I should probably find some doors for this thing, but I guess maybe one of them spot welder things and a dent puller would be a good idea. Got them all off?
Well, I got those, but I can't get this washer with this.
Nah, it'll come off when you lift the carb up.
All right. What's next?
Well, now that I'm not the camera lady anymore, I gotta get back to getting this engine out. I can pop the alternator off quick. Maybe quick. So what do you guys think? Should I use that built Power Glide?
Somewhere over there.
Yeah, it's right behind that white tank, covered with it's got a little chamois on it.
Oh, yeah, there it is. That guy.
Or should I just reseal this one and... Because this is by no means going to be a race car. But knowing me, you never know. You're like, oh look, a 671 blower. Maybe that should go on the Impala. Or maybe I should put 4 turbos on it. Is there a 64 Impala out there with 4 turbos?
I don't know.
I don't know. Most turbos I've ever had on a vehicle was 2. So. And that was on a Peterbilt 379 with a C15 Acert in it. This will actually be my... Well, I've had... My Cutlass had a 455 in it. I don't think I've ever owned a vehicle that I didn't put a big block in. I put one in a square body Chevy I had and then got rid of it. Never drove it. I actually sold it back to the guy I got it from because his grandpa bought it brand new and he should have owned it anyway. Seven 16ths or 11. Thank you. Tool fetcher. There's another one. Man. You'll be starting your own channel pretty soon. What? watch me be wrong. Oh, got lucky. Definitely got lucky on that one. Alright. If anybody watched my episode on alternator removal on that Jetta I got, I pulled it off, took it to O'Reilly's, they tested it, it tested good. 3 times. Put it back on, still doesn't charge. So I'm going to pick up a harness from the alternator to the the battery junction to see if that's what's wrong with it. If that doesn't fix it, then I'm getting a new alternator again. For some reason when I had it out last time I marked all these. But doesn't even look like I put any lettering on them, so it seems kind of... Oh, there's a 2. Which doesn't make sense because firing orders on a Chevy is pretty simple. Come on. Well, there it is. Happens every time. You're doing something wrong if you're not bleeding, right? That's actually why I quit wrenching years ago. I got sick of getting busted up. Busted knuckles. But now that I'm getting older, it's actually pretty fun now. Man, that must be a high performance rotor in this thing. My pile of parts are getting bigger. See how much coolant I can dump on the floor in this engine removal. I don't have the energy. That side was empty. That was nice. Gotta hit the pan. Yeah, so I gotta order some tires for this. I did buy them 17s. Maybe I'll re-show since, that was a long time ago and I know I forgot. Somebody else might have too. I'll grab the box that's open already. What does that say on it? 17 by 7. So this is one of the fronts. Look at that. That's styling. Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. So they're going to look really good on this car. trip over it all night. What's next? Let's pop the fan off. Then I can get the radiator out since it's unhooked. I don't know if this is going to work with the big block. It should. But it's not that thick. It's a 2-core up top, but it only looks like it's a 1-core down low, so I don't know. Guess we'll see what happens. And if I have to, there's plenty of room up front to throw a pair of small fans up there. What do I do with my screwdriver? Whoever worked on this last time didn't tighten them up very much. I wonder who that was. It was me. Yeah, this thing had a 307 in it when I picked it up. Real bad wrist pin noise or something. It didn't sound right at all, so I got this engine. I think I paid $200 for this engine from a buddy of mine. And then I owe my buddy Jimmy an engine, so I'm going to give him this one because I absolutely has no use for this engine. I do have video of this thing running, so we'll put it on the video somewhere so everybody can hear that it sounded really good. I actually think I got video of it when I had the 307 versus this one for exhaust note. It sounded pretty good. So. And this is my biggest fan. It's that time of the episode that everybody is waiting for. Legacy whiskey. This is actually Canadian whiskey. So, step out of my normal comfort zone. Try something a little different. And I don't mind Canadian whiskey. I guess I've never... Well, Crown Royal. I like Crown. But that's pretty good stuff. Oh, love that pop. Smells like rubbing alcohol. That might be a bad sign, huh? Yeah, it does. Oh well. Trying it anyway. Keep it low just in case I don't like it. Oh, it is a small batch. So, I don't know what they consider a small batch up in Canada. You know, small batch, like 110 gallons of syrup is a small batch, or 300 gallons of whiskey is a small batch. I'm only kidding. We're close to Canada here. I got friends up in Canada. They come down, we go drag racing. Huh? Cheers. It's got a little bite to it. It's not bad. It's got real good flavor. I'm getting some kind of smoky flavor. Yeah. Legacy whiskey is pretty decent.
As long as you don't smell it first.
Yeah, just don't smell it first. I know I gotta cut the exhaust anyway because those headers come down. And actually, it looks like they're gonna whoa, be on the inside of the frame, so maybe I'll just unbolt the manifolds for now, get it ripped out, and then cut some exhaust. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Actually, I'm pretty sure I was still working on the radiator. And I hope all the accessories work on the big block. Which I think they do, because Chevy was pretty good about keeping everything the same. Like, bell housings are the same. So, I know, Ford, they got 10 different engines, and every single one of them has a different bell housing. So, what was I doing? He sidetracked me. I swore I had a socket on this thing earlier. Got it on the inside. Still ignore my socket, my extension I had one. I'll find it later. I actually might need it. So should we put hydraulics on this thing? Hit the switches. Honestly, I'd like to put airbags on it, just to, when it's time to park it, you just set it on the ground. Wow, about ready to come out. I got 3 or 4 torque converter bolts, bell housing bolts, and 2 motor mount bolts, and all the exhaust manifolds bolts, but that's easy. Just get you all the way out of the way. Yeah, I don't know if I can see what engine code this has. I'll look and see what numbers say. It's a 010 block, so it is a 350. Could be either 2-bolt or 4-bolt main. 68 to 72 car, truck. Wasn't there something else we... That's a 010 block. The one with the AFR heads on it. But that's a 383 stroker, so...
A van.
Did they say van? No, I don't think they said van. I think it was truck and car. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't have vans in the 70s.
How about my Chevy van?
That was an 81. They had vans back then. I've actually owned a couple cool vans.
There's no such.
How dare you?
That's what they call an oxymoron.
No. There's lots of cool vans. I had a 67 Econoline van. That thing was sweet. The Chevy Shorty van, the Ford Shorty van, the Dodge Shorty van, they're all cool. I wish I had one. My buddy's got one. He's got like a 70 Ford van. The short one with no side windows or back windows in it at all. So those will have to go in the parts bin because I won't be reusing them. I suppose I should unhook the starter wires too. I should probably run the numbers on that Chevy big block also. Make sure it is out of a 74. I'm sure it's low horsepower. About the year of the smogging, they started taking engines and getting rid of all the horsepower and the torque and making big gas guzzlers out of them is what they did. Should also find out if it's a tall deck or a short deck. Hopefully it's a short deck. Then my distributor will work in it. This engine does have the Go Fast chrome on it, so. But chrome don't get you home. They did a timing cover, chrome timing cover, so kind of wondering if they did a cam when they were in there. Probably not. They probably just had it apart and a dress-up kit on it. But this is not my problem. It's oily. It's greasy. It ran good though, so I know it's going in like a 80s Monte Carlo, so. So if anybody wants some center dump exhaust manifolds, is that one a center dump?
Yes.
Yeah. If anybody wants one, pay for shipping, I'll send them to you. Both folds are unhooked. Are they manifolds still, or are they check calling them something else? Yeah. Motor mounts. Motor mounts. Actually kind of looks like I didn't even tighten them up. Oh, I didn't. Look at that. I must have been planning on putting a big block in this thing before I even knew it. So. Well, it won't come loose, but yeah, I got it like partway threaded on there. You don't need to tighten them up. This side's the same way. I must have forgot. I actually think when I put this engine in, I was working overnights and I was working on it during the day and probably sleep deprived. Yeah. It's one of the two. I'm going to unhook the starter and then get it in there, get it sitting on jack stands, and I don't know if I did the bell housing from the top. I guess I could. Yeah, I'll start pulling some bell housing bolts. It's almost dinner time, so. I like to twist my hoses before I try yanking them off. Especially on a heater core. You don't want to give them a rip because you wreck something inside. You end up putting a heater core in is what has to happen. And if I would have been smart, I probably would have just left this engine in here. The fact that it does have low oil pressure, I'd end up having to deal with it later on down the line, so. Coolant leaking on my hand. Ooh, the right stuff. Micro cam. For small people that want to feel real big. Jeffrey, I'm talking to you. No, I'm sorry. That wasn't called for. I'm about ready to give up for the night. I got some T-bones seasoned up. Throw them on the grill. Got some squash in the oven. Oh, man. I'm going to be eating good tonight, so. I think I made pretty decent progress tonight, so I think I'm going to call it and get busy on dinner, because it's getting pretty late. Oh wow, 6:50. Way too late to be having dinner. So I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you. Instead of breaking all the spark plugs off, I decided I should take them out first. I did get everything done underneath, so it's just a matter of taking some weight off the block and pulling the 2 motor mount bolts and lift it out. I left my drain pan underneath it, so when it starts lifting up I can kind of tip it forward, drain most of the coolant out. Just thinking ahead. Something I never do. Oh wow, that's richer than Donald Trump. That one looks pretty good. Yeah, it's definitely running rich. But when I put it in, I never messed with it. Didn't even mess with the carburetor, so. There's the engine going in. I think I'm gonna leave it vintage looking. Might try to scrape some of this orange or peach colored paint they got on it, but yeah, it's hasn't been ran in over 20 years, so 455 or 454 revival. A smarter man would probably get it running before he put it in here, but barking up the wrong tree if you want that here. Oh yeah, nice and black. That one's a little wet. It didn't smoke, but I should have done this before I unbolted the manifold. Oh, that one's really wet. Yeah, that'll have been a problem cylinder. Yeah, it's ready to come out. See what happens? It comes out in one piece. Ah! Pull the fuel pump just to get that off. Half out. Trying to get a little extra coolant out. I think coolant on the shop floor is worse than ATF.
Why?
Because it's hard to clean up. It's always there. Make sure I got everything unhooked. Don't want a ground line or something. There's two plugs on each side of these blocks on the bottom. Just pop them plugs out and drains all the coolant out. So once I get all the way out, I'm gonna do that. It's because I don't know how long it's gonna end up sitting here, and really don't want it leaking everywhere. Shouldn't have lit a fire in here. Toasty. Where'd it go? There it is. Yeah, there's lots of room underneath the hood of this thing, that's for sure. That doesn't have enough power. The big one? No, that's too big. That'll break this little guy right off. Hey, you could have a dance party in that engine bay. Maybe I will leave these in here. There's no reason why it'd be metric. It's not. Well, they're standing. Somebody Loctited them suckers in. It's even got a chrome oil pan. Well, now it's just a matter of cleaning everything up and figuring out if I gotta swap my motor mounts or what I gotta do with them to hopefully that fits right in the same location. So I'll do some measuring just to make sure. I cut my exhaust off and I'm pulling that transmission out, so it needs to be sealed up. It's the shift linkage seal is shot. That's where all the ATF came from. But I think I made good progress this week. I think you guys are going to have to tune in next week to see the big engine go in. So make the plan, work the plan. Like, subscribe, comment. So, yeah. Have a good night. I'll see you next Thursday. So that engine, back of the block to the motor mount was 14.5 inches, so I'm swapping mounts just to see if I got my 14.5 inches right there, because I don't know, that means this would be a ½ inch farther back, and that'd be too far back. It'd be in, I wouldn't even be able to get the distributor in it. Yeah, 14.5. Perfect.
What was it with the other brackets?
14. So, yeah, this engine would have been farther back. So I like that way better. That means it'll go right back in the same exact spot. I don't have to mess with them mounts at all.